Good afternoon. I'm Tom McSherry and I'm the National Business Development Manager at BuildStore. Over the last 6 months, London and Country and BuildStore have been working to bring together an exciting partnership to provide support for you and your customers to deliver some of the project types that BuildStore have been supporting for the last 25 years. And today we're going to give you a brief understanding of the process, followed by a series of short bite-sized videos. The agenda today will look at the partnership and how it was formed, and a brief introduction to BuildStore, the project types that you'll be able to give support and the advice that we're providing for them, and what are those opportunities. And we'll touch on some of the support we'll provide you on an ongoing basis. BuildStore has been providing finance for consumers undertaking projects such as self-build, custom build, renovation projects, light home improvements, conversions, and indeed bridging and development finance. And we've partnered with London and Country to be the sole provider of mortgage advice for those home building customers. Why? Well, the partnership recognises the concepts of delivering good outcomes and avoiding foreseeable harms, which were formalised in the Consumer Duty rules last year, and the need for expert advice in more complex borrowing areas, such as these just mentioned. A quick introduction to BuildStore. Well, last year was our 25th anniversary, an exciting time because at that point we had supported over 28,000 projects in the UK, and we're exclusively delivering over 60 products to the marketplace. What do those products do? Well, unlike the residential high street market, the regional building societies that provide those products to us support self-build, custom build, renovation projects, conversions and home improvements, as well as development and bridging finance. These are a brief example of some of these projects that your customers may inquire about. The self-build one's pretty well known, and of course there are somewhere close to between 10 and 12,000 projects a year. What there are a far greater number of opportunities are people extending their current home or indeed buying a property that may be dilapidated, and not habitable. And indeed, you may have the perception that it's not even mortgageable. Barn conversions, development and bridging finance, and an exciting evolution within the sector is custom build, where a developer or enabler, indeed local authorities, and even more so, volume house builders will have a parcel of land that will have roads and services and enable a number of people to buy a plot on a small, medium-sized development. So to finish off, I wanted to touch on some of the areas that you may have inquiries and the perception is that you can't give support. And here's a common list of them. The house isn't habitable, so it's not mortgageable. Indeed, in a recent meeting down in your offices, we had a very case like this. The property didn't have a kitchen, therefore the high street lenders wouldn't support. This sits within the product suite that BuildStore will provide support to you and your customers. The clients can't build an extension that they perhaps have a desire to do as there's insufficient equity to remortgage. Well, again, incorrect, because the great news is we'll see in the bite-sized videos, we can provide the funding to repay the current lender plus the build costs, providing the funding up to the new end value, not the current value, unlocking the ability for the customer to build that extension. Clients aren't allowed to have 2 residential mortgages at the same time because they often want to stay in their current property whilst building or renovating or converting. Again, wrong, because we're simply looking at an affordability model to ensure that they can afford to stay in the current home and fund a new project, selling the current home when it's completed, moving into the new home. They want to build a smaller property in the garden, as we often see people approaching retirement, looking to downsize, but the current house is often too big and no longer fit for purpose. Well, the good news is, with a simple separation of title deeds, we have a suite of products, even when age is perhaps limiting and income limiting as a result they're approaching retirement. We have asset-based loan facilities that can provide stage payments to enable them to downsize into the garden, sell the current house and repay the funding. Again, a perception that if they already own the plot, it's of no value. Well, indeed, it can have significant value and assist from a cash flow point of view. And again, perception that if a project's already started, lenders won't support. Well, indeed, there are products again designed that if the project's quite well advanced, we have short-term lending as well as the standard suite of products that can be ideally suited for those types of projects. London and Country and your IT team, your marketing team are going to build within your platform a simple way to refer the customers across the build store, and we will provide the advice required. Of course, you will be retaining the protection for that customer. On an ongoing basis, as well as the bite-sized videos being recorded and put onto your platform, there'll be ongoing support, and I would ask that if there's any further questions or training required, don't be scared to reach out to Simon and the team, because I'll be only too happy to deliver that training. And of course, we'll be reviewing the process constantly to improve those service standards. So that's our first video. There'll be a series more focused small videos on each of those specific project types. And if you want to contact us, here's the details, but there'll also be a link within your own processes. Thank you.